It is Wednesday, April 16th, 2025. I call this meeting of the Pearsall Independent School District to order. It is now 6:30 p.m. Let the record show that a quorum of board members is present, that this meeting has been duly called, and that notice of the meeting has been posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code, Chapter 551. Next, we'll go to item 2, the invocation.
If you please rise. Heavenly Father, we thank you, Lord Jesus Christ, for your grace and your mercy and your love for each and every one of us, Heavenly Father. Lord, we thank you for this day that you provide for each and every one of us, Lord. We thank you for just having us all here gathering together, Heavenly Father, as we celebrate students and teachers, Heavenly Father, and as we do, and that you would give us knowledge and wisdom, Heavenly Father, understanding and discernment as us, as the board members here, Heavenly Father, look over the agenda items and do what's best, in the best interest of the school district, Heavenly Father. Guide us, Heavenly Father, in all things, Heavenly Father. In your mighty and precious name, Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen.
Amen. Next, we'll move to item 3, Pledge of Allegiance. Mr. Matthew. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I got some kids out there. Hey, kids, y'all want to come up here and do the Texas pledge for us? Come on up, kids. Let's recognize our flag by all these young students. Come on up. Y'all want to do both of them, or let's just do the Texas pledge, right? Y'all ready? Who's going to lead? Here we go. We got some more coming up. Ready? All right. Y'all got it. It's yours. Go ahead. Allegiance to the United States, one state under God, one nation. Justice for us. Thank y'all. Next, we'll move on to item 4, Pearsall High School graduates from OFSDP. Doctor.
Yes, sir. We have Ms. Aleida Valeska here who's going to present 2 graduates.
Good evening, school board.
Hello. Good evening.
Take this off. Okay, so today we gather to celebrate 2 remarkable individuals who have successfully completed the optional flexible school day program and fulfilled all their graduation requirements. Please join us in honoring Matthew Perez, who started on this journey with us. So please join us in honoring Matthew Perez, who started with us on this journey on November 7th, 2024. Matthew began with 25 credits, and with the guidance of Mr. Gutierrez, recovered an additional 4 credits. His perseverance and commitment to completing his graduation requirements are truly commendable. Now let's extend a warm welcome and a round of applause to Matthew Perez. So, Matthew chose the OFSDP because he was struggling to keep up with his remaining credits. The program not only helped him graduate early, but also allowed him to make up lost hours. His aspirations included securing a job to support himself and his family, Matthew encourages others to continue their studies and strive for success. He would like to express his gratitude to Mr. Gutierrez and Ms. Velasquez for their invaluable support throughout the program. So congratulations, Matthew.
Graduation.
All right, you guys. So with us watching from home with his loved ones, we wish to recognize Omi Valenzuela, who, although unable to join us today, has achieved a remarkable milestone, completing his graduation requirements. Omi started the program on October 11th, 2022, with just 2 credits, and over 3 years recovered an impressive 24 credits under the mentorship of Mr. Gutierrez. His unwavering dedication and hard work in completing his graduation requirements are truly inspiring. We are deeply proud of Omi's accomplishments. Omi would like to share with others to never give up and to continue to work towards your goals. Omi mentioned there's always a way to reach your goals if you set your mind to it. Omi would like to thank the staff at Pearsall Alternative Campus, as well as his family, for pushing him to continue with his studies and reach for the stars. So congratulations to Omi. We are all very proud of you. And if we can all stand and give Omi a round of applause for completing his OFSDP requirements. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Next, we're going to move to item 4, which is the public comment, and we do have somebody signed up. We have Ms. Veronica Maldonado. Go ahead.
Veronica.
So you have 3 minutes. I just want to say, you just don't, the policy states, you know, if you do have a grievance or if you have a complaint pertaining to that, we do have a policy that you need to follow, right? And we just ask that you not use any names or teachers' names or anything like that, and we'll listen to your comment, okay, ma'am?
Okay.
You have 3 minutes.
I'm coming in front of y'all because I haven't gotten nowhere at all. These past 3 months, I've been struggling big times. My son's in 2nd grade. He's being bullied, and I haven't gotten nowhere. I've done police reports. I've asked for previous dates of this kid bullying my child, and I still haven't gotten nowhere at all. My child had to be removed from his class, and the other child's still there at the same classroom, proceeding, endangering my child still. We're at a point where they're like a no contact, where they play outside, but the child still comes over here and picks on my child. I do not know what to do.
I'm gonna stop you there, and
Okay.
not to be rude, but because you need to follow the process.
Mhm.
What I would recommend is to get with the principal and file a grievance, okay?
I've already done everything.
You've done a grievance?
I've done it.
Okay, then what
They
we'll
haven't
do,
gotten back with me for the past 2 weeks.
All right.
I've been calling and calling and calling.
Okay,
I
ma'am.
haven't gotten nowhere. I did a police report 2 weeks ago.
okay. Let us look into that, and then we'll move forward with that, okay? And then we will definitely have somebody get back to you. And your name again,
Please.
I've got your name here, okay?
Yes.
And we'll follow through with it, and we'll have somebody get back with you, okay, ma'am?
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next, we'll move to item 6, which is the student recognition. Dr. Rodriguez?
Yes, we have Ms. Gonzalez here, who will begin. Align your students.
Good evening, board.
Good evening, ma'am.
So today we're here for student recognition, and today we're going to recognize clubs, the clubs that we have at TFE. That's been a big push for us here lately this year, and we want to recognize our students. So students, when you come up here, make sure you stay up here so that we can get a picture. Starting with Art Club, we have Anaí Hernandez. Followed by Cristian Alcalá. And that concludes Art Club. Oh, wait. Thank you. Sorry. Kristen. Next up, we have Safety Patrol Club. We're really proud of this club because it's really taken off. This is our second year doing it, and we'd like to recognize those students who have been who have participated in it. So first up is Brian Ramos. Next up, Carolina Castillo. Chrislyn Rosales. Javion Ramos. Khaleesi Nieto. Kingsley Munoz. Mireya Rapalo. Nicolás Iraeta. Nova Castillo. Zadie Hernandez. And that concludes Safety Club. Jackson Sanchez, come on up, please, sir.
Good job, kiddo.
Next club that we started this year was the Kindness Club. We're trying to promote more kindness sponsor for the club. And also, is Miss Hannah Martinez here? There she is. Can y'all come on up? Teachers do these clubs. They volunteer their time to do this, so we're very appreciative that we have teachers who want to spend more time with their students. First up, we have Ixalen Gandara. Saya Rilmi. Aaliyah Reyes. Carolina Lopez. Hilda Agaralo. Olivia Garcia. Raisley Robinson. And this concludes our kindness club.
Couple more pictures.
Junior high. Yes.
We're gonna have intermediate también, ¿o
No,
no?
sir. Not
Hola.
yet.
Good evening. Minute.
Yes.
In case somebody else is coming in.
Yes, sir. Okay, junior high.
Tiffany. Tiffany.
Yes, I had an art. The other kid, Daniela, yes.
Okay, for Pearsall Junior High, I have our 8th grade top AR readers. Annabelle Bettis. Gabriela Morales. Kyrie Munoz. Mercedes Marshall. And Roland Elizondo. Also representing for Pearsall Junior High, our students of the week for the month of March, Josiah Ramirez. Richard Lopez. Nathan Quesada. Ashley Sanchez. Ariela Saldivar. Cheyenne Stone. Jezere Hernandez. Isabella Esparza. Josiah Balderrama. Ozias Gabriel. Uriel Netro. And Chloe Garcia. Great job, students. Way to represent PGH.
Good job, students. High school.
Good evening, board.
Good evening, ma'am.
We have several recognitions tonight. We're going to start with some IXL award recipients. These students have the most skills mastered and at an 85% or above. So we have Ms. Kendall Danzo, Ayla Rios, Miranda Cerda, and Trinity Gully. Next, we're going to start with some athletic recognition on some accolades that have been attained this season. We're going to start with our boys basketball team. Unfortunately, head coach Viesca cannot be here. He's at a funeral. So I'm going to turn it over to our athletic director, Mr. Ruben De Leon, and he'll introduce the basketball coaches.
Good evening, board, doctor. So I know Coach Viesca is not here, and I actually do want to recognize him. He was voted honorable mention for Coach of the Year in the San Antonio greater area. So that's a big accomplishment, big feat for him. So I do want to note that for him. Coach Gomez is going to be representing and speaking for him for basketball.
Good evening. Good evening. For those who don't know me, I'm Coach Gomez. I know I'm all in baseball gear, but I was one of the assistant basketball coaches this year. First off, I just wanted to say thank you to the district and thank you to this town for getting behind these boys on this historic season. I wanted to just introduce some of the boys that were responsible for this historic season. I know we got Xavier Rendon back there. I saw. We got, I see Aiden Rodriguez right there. Our next one is Marcus Woodard. And we got right here Christian Rojas, aka Bone. And we have Aiden Carrasco right here as well. And I also want to recognize Jeremy Rodriguez, Devin Castillo, Aiden Salibar, Nick Rios, and Jared Cavazos. They were part of this historic run. I just wanted to first off say congratulations, guys. Y'all earned this. Okay, these fellas have been in the gym since the dog days of summer. Okay, they've been working hard for this, and then the success just it was right away. I know we got into the Matter Classic. You know, we went undefeated until that last game. We fell up short, ended up falling up short. But we took second place in our own Matter Classic, and then we took our talents to George West, and we went undefeated in that tournament, and ended up winning that tournament. So came back with some hardware right there, and then fought through a very tough district schedule. Unfortunately, we couldn't get that goal ball, but once it came playoff time, these guys really showed up. We got a victory against Gonzalez. We went to travel to Stockdale, got that victory in there, and then traveled to Seguin to battle Lamar, and it was Lago. Lago Vista, and captured our second gold ball there, and then we ended up playing a hard fought team in Lamar and ended up falling short. But these guys, that's this is what they deserve. So I just wanted to recognize that. And then with all that hard work came a lot of accolades, individual accolades for this young man. So I just wanted to highlight some of these. So for Xavier Rendon, he was the 27-4A offensive MVP. He was a San Antonio Sports All-Star. He was a South Texas Coaches Association All-Star, a San Antonio Express News All-Area Team, a TABC All-Region and TABC All-State. He was part of those teams. So that's a heck of an accomplishment. Marcus Woodard, he was a first-team All-District. He was also a South Texas Coaches Association All-Star. Jeremy Rodriguez, who was unable to be here, he was a first-team All-District. And then Aiden Rodriguez was our second-team All-District. And then our honorable mentions were Aiden Salibor, Nick Rios, and Devin Castillo. So like I said, I just wanted to make sure these guys get the recognition they deserve, and I'm like I said, guys, I'm super proud of you. Thank you.
Good job, Mary.
Next is Coach Cortez and Coach Gonzalez for powerlifting.
Hi guys, thank y'all for all the support. Very much appreciated.
Sir.
Coach, thank you for all the support as one of your rookie coaches on staff. Coach Gonzalez, thank you for all your work. Coach Gonzalez has been helping me out with our powerlifting team from the get-go. She's bought in. All right. It first started for me about 18 years ago. I was a rookie coach, and as a rookie coach, I was standing in front of Coach Allen's equipment room, and I was in awe. I was a very young coach, rookie, but I was not a young man. I was a little older already. And I am looking at his equipment room, and he looks at me and says, "Hey, Coach, doesn't matter if you have the strongest kid. If you don't have the equipment, the same best equipment the other kid got, that other kid's going to win." And I took that to heart. I didn't know much about it. I knew how to listen. I listened to him because he was an old CB. I'm a Marine, so I'm like, I'm going to listen to that old guy right there. And I did, right? We started off with a very transformative year. The transformative year came from our first week of practice, and we had tons of kids come out, right, Coach? And we came out, and they're like, "Hey, what do we got going?" Like, we're going to start with Parisi's. We're going to start stretching. And it took us around hour, 15 minutes to get our stretching in. And then from there, we took off. And then from the stretching part, we went on and started with our program. With the program, it's a 6-week program. It moves them from day 1 to week 6, and we start to improve our strength, and we start to move forward from there. That being said, leading us to our regional lifters. Coach, you want to introduce our regional lifters?
So on the girls' side, we had 5 girls, so that's awesome. A lot of these girls had been there last year too, and they just showed up again, and they're always willing to work hard, along with being involved in other sports, and we share athletes around here. So we have Nila Escobedo, Audrina Ibarra,
So when we started off our first meet, we started off going with our male athletes first. We went to a male meet first, and then from there we went to our female meet. And then what worked well there was we had plenty of equipment, plenty of sweats. We looked sharp. We took pictures. Our team looked out there. We looked like Pearsall Maverick powerlifting, and we looked sharp. We competed well. We performed well. That being said, as coaches, we will allow our athletes to have some shortcomings. And some of those shortcomings they saw because we needed to get into the routine of the weights, of the commands that they had to learn. And they did, and we started moving forward. The good thing about that is after those first two meets, we went to our third meet where we came together as a team. And that team coming together, man, we were strong. We looked good, we looked strong, we were competing. Bringing all the team together, we had some struggles. We had some struggles of, well, we only had one size of suit and not the other size of suit, right? Or we had to rotate, well, this suit fits better here, this suit fits better there. And the great thing about it was that our team, our young adults were performing well, and they gave it their all, and we worked it out, right? From there, we jumped over to state. From state, we knew it was gonna be a bit of a struggle. It was going to be a bit of a struggle, but we came at it with our EAT mentality, right? And our EAT mentality is our energy, attitude, toughness, and teamwork, right? Something that Coach De Leon has instilled, that our boys have committed to. That struggle came with Kingston. We knew we were going to struggle, but that struggle, that adversity came when he broke his collarbone. You know, and we had to keep three things in mind, and they would say we because we were in discussions, right? Most of the time you weren't there when we were having our discussions, but it was get him healthy. It was get him healed, keep him healthy, and how do we get him stronger, right? Because we want him to compete. Because at the beginning, Kingston told me, Coach, I should have been state champ. And it took me back to my day when I was standing in front of Coach Allen's locker room, or I'm sorry, in front of his equipment room. And I took that to heart. And when we got to state, we got to speak to the bench daddy, the CEO of bench daddy. And, oh, we have an awesome picture. I'm gonna get a note. So we keep going. He's working hard, and we're coming to our first event. And our first event's the squat. And I wish we had a huge contributor here. Hunter Gonzalez was huge in this young man's victory. Our first event was coming up. It was squat. You can feel the tense. You can feel the emotion in that little arena that was there. And Kingston has his leg out. Hunter has him, and he starts to rack him up, and it's getting a little tight, right? And Kingston jumps on him like, hey, it's too tight here. And then, but what you don't know is that Hunter was rapping like our female rappers, and boy, they lit Hunter up, right? So it wasn't much that he wasn't something that it wasn't used to, and he already had a relationship with Kingston, so that he just relaxed, opened up, and started rapping him. And his first squat was at 540 pounds. We get under there, so let's go, babe, we're good. He gets there. Bam, bam, easy, money. We're like, oh. And he comes back, he goes, Coach, let's go 600. I was like, 600 it is, man, let's go. Gets under the rack, Hunter racks him up again, gets down, boom, pops it up, and it's like, oh. He's like, Coach, I feel great. And I'm like, you look great. And I'm like, what do you think I should go? And I'm thinking, 650. And he looks at me with these eyes like, whoa, sit down. And I said, well, 620. And he was like, 630. They're like, all right, babe, 630. We knew going in that he had to make up some weight there. He had to make up weight because the young man at Sinton had a very strong bench. So we get there, 630. He gets to 630, comes down, boom, lifts it up, money. I'm like, oh, we left 20 pounds on the bar, right? And he's like, all right, but we feel good. He felt strong. Let's move forward to the second event. Our second event is bench. Kingston, his bench was outstanding. It had been outstanding until the broken collarbone, right? And then the drama starts with the bench. Well, Kingston's a running back, running back, he's a little drama underline, right? And so he gets, and we know, I say we, Kingston knows as a young man, goes, Coach, I need to bench 380 pounds. I need to bench 380 so that we can be in striking distance for the championship. So after the first event, Pearsall Maverick powerlifting, Kingston sitting in first place. And we're like, oh, we're good. I know I'm on the phone with Coach. We're back over there. Coach I ain't talking, and we're like, hey, what do we do? And we're good. And so Kingston sitting in first place. After the bench event, he gets to 380, and he pops it up, gets the white lights, and we're just excited. Like, yeah, because he did his job as a young man. He did it. He fought through. We went. And then the kid from Sinton, the young man from Sinton, ends up benching 420. Woo. So where we were sitting at first place plus 15, now we are sitting in third place minus 15. From that minus 15, Kingston says, Coach, I need something to drink. And then Coach jumps on it. She's like, let's go get some electrolytes. Let's go get some bang, bang. She's hitting it because Coach is a powerlifter. So there we go, to go grab Kingston some stuff. And Hunter, because he's hungry, right? He's a young man. I mean, he needs to eat that hambre. And so there we go. And then so we get on the phone with Coach. And Coach is like, hey, where's the standings at? Where are we at? And I'm like, Coach, I left all my paperwork over here. So then Coach jumps on it, boom. Like, well, that one kid from Sinton, the one young man from Sinton, power lifts, he deadlifts 510. That's 520. Well, we're like, okay, well, Kingston's power lift, his deadlift, he's going to open up at 520. The young man from Corpus, his biggest deadlift was 480. We're like, oh, well, we're going to scratch him out, right? Because 480 is not going to compete. So now we get into the mode, and his deadlift is outstanding because Kingston holds the state record at 165 pounds with 600-pound deadlift, correct? 600 or 620? He holds a state in deadlift. So we're like, we're opening up at 520. So we wrap up, we're getting ready to roll. That young man from Sinton is up, he's opening up with 500. So which puts us behind him, although that gives us the edge, that gives us the strategic edge of where he sits. And where he sits allows us to maneuver where Kingston needs to sit. So the kid comes up, pops up 500 pounds, money. Great, he's supposed to. Kingston comes up, 520, he comes down, he's picking it up, easy money, he's about to lock out, and the bar slips. The bar slips from his hands, from his fingers. And it's like, bum, bum, bum. The drama starts, right? It's like, he was attracting it, right? It's like, come on. And he's looking at me, and I'm like, hey, you lifted that easy, you're good. He's like, I'm good. So now to our second lift, so where we had the advantage, now we do not. Now the young man from Sinton has the advantage because he went up to 525 and we still have to lift 520. Kingston gets 520, tells the young ladies at the table, I'm going to go to 550. The young man from Sinton hits 525. We're like, all right. Moving forward, we're like, we got to change that 550 to 555 so that we can make up those 50 pounds and beat him by 5. Well, Hunter, having a huge role in this, is standing over here next to the Sinton squad and is listening to what they're saying. And they're saying, hey, we're going to jump 5 pounds so that we can tie Kingston. So Hunter comes on over the line. He's like, hey, Coach, they said they're going to tie. And I'm like, Kingston, come here. Right? So then we get in the huddle. We're like, hey, Kingston, we're not going to tie, babe. No, we're not going to tie. We're going to be state champs, or you're going to lose. You're going to be a state champ, or you're going to lose. That's it. No doubt about it. All right? He's like, let's go. I said, all right. What do you want to hit? He goes, 565. Woo! Here we go, babe. Right? Well, in the past, 565 was his opener. But he has a flair for the drama. You know, his collarbone has slowed him down. But he's gotten through it. It's his time to come up. And he comes up. And he gets down at 565. Brings, gives that hip thrust, locks, puts it down, and 3 white lights. Oh, I was so excited, I think I hurt my elbow. I was like, oh. And Kingston pops up, and he's like, Coach, did we do it? I'm like, let's make we do it. Come on, let's go. Try to be cool. Like we've been here before. I've been at state competitions before, but I've never won it as a coach, obviously. We get there and we're like, hey, let's calm down. I'm calling coach, and we win. Okay, so but we're gonna wait till it's official. And sure enough, as we're waiting, the young man and the coach from Sinton come on over to Kingston and shakes his hand and says, congratulations. And right there, we're like, oh yeah, you got it, babe. You did it. So now, Pearsall, the city of Pearsall, Pearsall ISD, Pearsall Maverick Powerlifting has their first male state champion, Kingston Martinez. Come on up, Kingston.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Bass. Thank you.
And that's all I got, guys. That was Kingston Martinez, our state champion.
With all regionals, and then we'll do one, with state. So since Kingston's here, we'll do that one first.
And then the following day, he was at the Little League Park cleaning up.
And playing golf.
Great job, Kingston.
Now, all regionals.
I got videos if you want to see videos.
There is a video of him poking his elbow where he gets hurt too.
Not late.
I do want to know one more thing on Kingston because it was announced Monday. He is representing us as our lone Pearsall Maverick for the South Texas Coaches Association All-Star Game for football next month. So proud of him for that.
So next, I'm gonna call up our, band department. So it's, Mr. Perez, Ms. Montelongo, Ms. Heckler, and Mr. Zamorano.
Hello.
Good evening, sir.
everyone. So tonight we're recognizing a few of our member band members. Like there are UIL academic events, we have some, aside from marching band, aside from concert and sight reading, it's called UIL Solar Ensemble. These guys have never heard of it before this year, and we have to kind of slow down a little bit and explain to them what it is. So, there's an audition process happening before, in the middle of the year, like in December for them. So this is a little bit similar to that in a way that we still have to learn several things. Either we can pick to learn a solo and or an ensemble. An ensemble can consist of a trio, which is three, a quartet, four, quintet, five, and even larger ensembles. So the few did the same, different solo, sorry. He did a solo called Lighter on trumpet. He received an excellent rating, which is a 2. Again, for any of these guys that did any of this kind of participation, it's a really good, strong step forward. And not only in their abilities, but in the band program grants and things. Our band program will go stronger because they continue to develop whether on solo and ensemble. Shannon Rodriguez is another freshman that stepped up this year for us. He played a grade 3 solo as well, class 3 solo, and he also received a superior rating. He's not here tonight, but he also received a superior rating, so again, Angela Leal, another freshman, she earned a superior rating for her multi-tenor technique solo. The marching tenors that we have, the tenor drums that we play in the stands, the quads, there's 4 drums, and they carry it right here, so she played a solo on that, and she received a superior rating. It was a class 3, so she was, unfortunately, just not getting medal, but again, she improved on an instrument as well. Next, we have Adriana Benavides, one of our drum majors, played a solo, a grade 2 solo. She received superior rating. Scarlett Flores also played the same solo. Another clarinet. Adriana also plays the clarinet. Scarlett also plays the clarinet. They both received the superior rating, so they won. So they will be receiving the medal for that, which I think is let's see. And they also did a class C, so they do receive a medal for that. Cheyenne Vetter also on trombone performed the trombone solo medal very good, and she also received a class. She played a class 2, so she also received a medal because she also received a superior rating on that one. Let's see. We have a trio 2 out of 3. We have Scarlett Flores is another the same person a while ago. She performed 2 things. She learned a solo, got a superior rating, and she performed a trio with Alyssa Garcia and Estela Vega. Earned a medal as well for your superior rating. Now these are medals, I'm kind of jealous because the ones that I know they were thin. They were thin, they looked, they were about the middle of the they were about that long, they were able to throughout the middle. And they have like, now that's a good, metal, real shiny, silver. There you go, they do perform class 2 freshman. They all performed very well, and
Miss Bass.
the judge that listens to them told everybody that you listen to it, they are ready for big ones. They were ready for class 2. And so we're gonna set it up next week. Yes? All right, cool. So let's see here. Where we left off. Jason Jimenez performed a solo. Arioso as well, like just like Cheyenne did. It's also the same solo, just performed on a different instrument. It's also a class 2. He also received a superior rating, which is a 1st division. He will also be receiving the medal. Michael Greeley, he come on up. There you go. So if you guys can just recall the marimba and the marching season where we have the long keyboard instrument. So a lot of times, this year we started integrating a 4-mallet piece, 4-mallet technique, so that way these guys can further develop their chops, their ability to play another level of difficulty. And Michael Greeley earned himself a solo medal for a 4-mallet piece called, what was it, Michael? Sueños, grade 2. And so he received a 1st division on it, so that's what he received the medal. So if you ever take a look at that kind of music in comparison to like the trumpet part, it's difficult because not only do you play like 1 note at a time, but they play 4 at a time. They literally, it's like they're playing piano with like 4 little mallet heads about this big. So that's a really cool thing that he's learning on that instrument there. Let's see here. We have a flute trio that played a grade 1. So if they received a grade if they played a grade one, a class one solo or trio, or, they have a chance to advance to state. And this trio involves Shania Martinez, Shania Martinez, Lisa Lepon, Addison Valdez. Lisa's a junior, and Addison Valdez is a sophomore. They received a first division for that solo, or for that trio, and that trio advances to the state, Texas State UIL solo and ensemble. They will be advancing. The schedule for that will come out on Monday. If you got the email right outside, and we'll see when we're going to be taking off. But that is going to happen the last week in May, Memorial Day, Memorial Day weekend. Let's see. We have a saxophone trio as well that has Alexander Frazier. He's a freshman on alto sax. We have Jeremiah Gutierrez, who's a senior on tenor, who played on tenor, and Julian Lopez, a junior, also on alto. They also played a trio, also class one. They will also be advancing to the Texas State solo and ensemble contest. And yeah. Let's see. It's been a long time since we had anybody play solo that's a grade one and advance to state, because the trick for a solo to advance to state, not only does it have to be a class one, but it has to be played from memory. From start to finish, it has to be played from memory. And the typical trumpet solo literature that's out there for grade one is like 5 minutes plus. So you have to memorize 5 minutes of a solo. And that's it, just you and the piano. And Griselda Perez earned herself a superior rating on her solo. Also played from memory, so she gets to advance to the state UIO solo and ensemble contest. I have a new screen protector, and it's kind of cool, but it's annoying. And we have one more, Cody Houston, a sophomore, just as Griselda is a sophomore, did play a class one solo. Unfortunately, he didn't memorize. He started it. He started it, and he was like halfway, and then he was just like, no, stop. No. And then he played it again with his music, and he was able to get a first division on it anyway. Now, even though he didn't advance to state with it, playing for class one literature solo, I played class one literature in college, as well as all of us here. We all played that. So when you are stepping into the realm of just solo literature, even for UIL, it's difficult to look at, but to memorize it, it's also another level of it. I never memorized my class one solos. It was just a lot. But Cody also got a Division I, a superior rating for his UIL solo and ensemble attempt. So congratulations to all the kids really stepped up their abilities and pushed themselves to go that extra mile, not just for us in general, but just for themselves. And yes, the last time we actually performed or participated in the UIL solo ensemble has been since either 2018 or 2019. 2019 was right before COVID hit, and that was the last time we ever did it. So that's why everyone, we're gonna do solo ensemble. They're like, huh? So that's why I have to explain it to them. So it's back. It's incentivized. They earn themselves points, not just medals, but I put there's extra points. There's a point system in place now for them to earn their Letterman jackets a lot sooner, and they've all earned some points. So congratulations to these kids.
Congratulations.
Yeah, guys. And we have. Yeah, you guys can sit down. Oh,
Picture moment, picture moment.
Over here? Yes, over here. Sweet picture over here. The nice background.
Yes, sir.
Dr. Norbert Rodriguez a small token of our appreciation for being so incredibly supportive of the band over the years. So we just have a little basket of goodies. There's a coffee mug for your mornings now. There's some snacks. There's some socks that say Troublemaker. And then I know, I don't know if you're gonna have to pay for a ticket to the football game now, but we found a workaround. So we got you a shirt that says
I'm with the
I'm with the
band."
Maverick Band. So now you don't have to worry about pay for your ticket. And then there's one more thing, and I would like to apologize to Mitzi and the kids because this was not my idea. This was my husband's idea. Here's a drum pad and some drumsticks for you to kind of maybe get back into it. So it's just
Practice for the next alumni.
yeah.
There you
for
go.
the next alumni night. Yeah. So it's,
There'll be a little bit of freedom.
The last group of students that we are going to be recognizing tonight is our Pearsall High School Student Council. I will call all of them up here. Aiden Lucio, Diego Corona, Madeline Garcia, Amanda Hernandez, Audrina Benavides, Amaris Valenzuela, Eric Rodriguez, and Criselda Perez. So we are recognizing these students. They represented Pearsall High School well at CASB Governance Camp on March the 7th. And so they're going to go through their presentation with you all.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, school board members.
Good evening.
So this evening, we'll be presenting our blood drives that we presented at the, that we were privileged and honored to present at the Texas Association of School Board Members conference the weekend before spring break in Galveston. It was a wonderful experience. We went to the beach the day before, so that was pretty fun. But at the conference, we talked with many school board members, and we expressed, our, everything to them, how the good, the bad, everything. And at the conference, we, oh, sorry. Okay. Stop. Okay, can you? Oh, it's not on. Okay, it just is. Yeah. Okay, so at the conference, we explained our blood drives that we host. We try to do it every 2 months. Our next one is April 28th at the high school, and that is in honor of Alina Valenzuela, a senior at Pearsall High School. And we just express the importance of blood drives and how it's beneficial to people with diabetes, cancer. Just it's very beneficial, and there's some incentives that you can earn. And yeah, that was pretty much it. It was pretty fun. Yeah, awesome.
Very nice. Good job.
Good job.
Good job. Talking about the blood drive, y'all be hosting one for Alina, correct?
Yes.
Yes.
April 28th, yes, sir. And I think it's full, so that's good.
28th is Mrs. Best this month?
Yes.
What was the date?
It is, the 28th, and it'll be, from 9 to 12.
Ready for the next one? Yes, sir. Next, we'll go on to item 6B, employee recognition.
Good evening again, board.
Hello, hello.
So as many of you, or many of you may know, we lost Mr. White back in January, and he was our life skills teacher, and his absence has been, felt very deeply by our staff, but we did have someone that stepped up, or has stepped up, and has really done a great job of taking care of our students and just being there for our students. I feel good knowing she's in the classroom because I know that they're going to be safe and they're going to be well taken care of. And I just want to honor Miss Bottles tonight for all of her hard work.
Hello.
For Pearsall Intermediate, our April employee of the month is our very own Mrs. Olguin. Mrs. Olguin is our outstanding third grade bilingual teacher. She sets high expectations for herself and her students. You'll never walk by her classroom and see any student that is not engaged in their learning. She always puts her students first and does everything she can to help her students succeed. In her classroom, everyone is a family. They all work collaboratively and respectfully with each other. This year, she was also a recipient of the Virginia Thompson Grants, and she used those funds to organize the Magic Theater coming down to perform for us here at the PAC Center this past Monday. So we were very grateful for that. And then this past Friday, she arranged a class outing with her families and their students, and thanking them for the support of helping their students prepare for the stuff. So, awesome. Thank you. And she's very humble. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening again. For Pearsall Junior High, we'd like to congratulate our employee of the month, Ms. Tabitha Moreno. As the dedicated attendance clerk at PGH, Tabitha consistently goes above and beyond to ensure our students are present on time daily. Her attention to detail, proactive communication, and tireless commitment makes a huge impact on our school's success. We're so grateful for all that she does to keep our campus running smoothly. Thank you, Tabitha.
Thank you.
Pearsall High School is proud to recognize Brianna Segura as our April Employee of the Month. Brianna currently teaches English 1 and journalism. She embodies what it means to be a true team player, always ready to lend a hand, support her colleagues, and bring out the best in others. She consistently builds strong relationships across our campus, creating a positive and collaborative environment wherever she goes. With mission. Thank you, Brianna, for being a positive, inspiring example of teamwork, positivity, and maverick pride.
Thank you. Next, we'll go on to item 7A, Principals Board Reports.
Employee recognition?
Oh. They moved the left side. Okay.
Okay, you guys. So at Pearsall Alternative Campus, we would love to give a huge shout out and congratulations to Annabelle Ortiz. Miss Annabelle consistently demonstrates exceptional dedication and reliability, always arriving on time and maintaining an outstanding work ethic. Her willingness to step up and take on additional responsibilities has been invaluable to our team. Miss Annabelle has built outstanding relationships with our students, fostering a supportive and inclusive environment that encourages growth and connection. Her ability to connect with students and staff on a personal level has made a significant impact, creating a positive and engaging atmosphere that benefits everyone involved. We appreciate Miss Annabelle's commitment to excellence and her contributions to our team's success. Thank you for
¿Quedan dos más o quién es? Okay. So we'll go ahead and go to the Principals Board Reports. At the high school first. Yes, they can.
Good evening. Some updates for TFE. Our RTI specialists are continuing to push into the classrooms. I followed them around about 2 days in a row, and it's nice to see the teachers working with students. They're doing their rotations, and I can see the progress there. Today, our club kids were able to go to the Whitty Museum. They got to see the Staying Alive exhibit, and they also got to do some rock climbing. Sunshine Committee is trying their best to treat teachers at least once a week to keep the morale up and to keep them feeling good till the end of the year. We're continuing to see students learning their sight word books, and we continue to encourage them and posting them on Facebook so that they can remain encouraged to do so. And then next week, we begin our TPRI testing, and we're excited to see all the progress on that. Thank you.
All right, for Pearsall Intermediate, it's only been a few weeks since our last board meeting, but we've still been hitting the ground running. We continue to have tutorials, and our teachers had some training on accommodations and differentiation with special education, as well as a STAR refresher training. This past Monday morning, as mentioned, we spent the day celebrating our students and all the hard work that they've been doing preparing for their STAR. So we took a field trip to the Performing Arts Center where they saw Tomas and the Library Lady performed by the Magic Theater. It was a nice treat for the students, and it was a perfect story to hear just before the STAR because it talked about the struggle of Tomas Rivera and learning to speak English and reading. So the students were very touched, and it came at a perfect time. So hoping that little bit of story helped to motivate them with the reading star that they took on Tuesday. Then on Monday afternoon, we showcased another star motivational video that was organized by Miss Waldrum, our music teacher. So we had our teachers and paras and other staff members involved in that. And if you haven't seen it, it's posted on our Facebook page. The kids were very excited to see it. Then we did some rotations, and they just kind of de-stressed the day. And then we invited our parents to write a letter to their students. We sent them the envelope with the little piece of paper, just said, write an encouraging word to your child for the star. So that afternoon, they went back to their classrooms and they read the letters with the snack that we provided for them. So just here's to another week. Next week we'll have a star for science, and then the following week we'll have star for math, and then we'll have our track and field days. Thank you.
Good job.
For Pearsall Junior High, the district admin recently met with Camino Real, and I'm excited to say we now have a case manager who is stationed between Miss Gina Baker and my campus, but serves the district. And it's been very, very helpful with them these last few days. She's helped tremendously with our students who need emotional needs, so it's been very successful so far. Yesterday, we did have our first round of STAR reading test. We're hoping and praying that our students were successful. April 17th, which is tomorrow, we do have our PTO movie night, so if you're available, come watch Moana 2 at our PGH cafeteria. There's a concession stand. It is the end of the 6 weeks also tomorrow, and we will be heading on Monday to our final 6 weeks. April 22nd, our 8th graders will be science STAR testing, and April 23rd, social studies testing. The following week, April 30th, will be the math STAR, final STAR for the entire campus. April 25th is the PD day, which all of the teachers will be collaborating by department, planning the final 6 weeks and finishing strong. I know a lot of our science and social studies are doing a lot of projects currently, so that's exciting to see a lot of teamwork and student-centered activities. April 28th, we are having report card night. May the 1st is our National Junior Honor Society ceremony and inductions. We also welcome you to that. I'd like to say thank you to all the community members who did show up to our campus yesterday and chalked up our sidewalk, writing encouraging words to our students. They were excited when the bell rang and they went outside seeing all the graffiti, encouraging them to do their best. So thank you to that. It was a huge success. And us being successful relies on our community also, so thank you.
Awesome.
We copied that. Teamwork. That's right. So we're continuing to rock and roll at the high school. We got a lot of stuff going on. We did have our round of STAR testing, our first round of STAR testing take place this week with English 1 and English 2. As mentioned at the last board meeting, we did do something different with the way we did testing. High school had always tested one content at a time, and so we're combining it in an effort to have a shutdown campus on test days, rather than half the campus is testing and the other campus is a free-for-all. That has proven today to be beneficial. Fingers crossed that it helps. This is the first time that we have been testing beyond lunchtime. So that tells us that these kids were, concentrating, they took their time, they didn't rush through it, and I think a lot of it was the different setup that we had with testing, and we made that the priority at the campus, and we're gonna continue with that same practice next week when we take on biology and US history, and then we'll close out the last week of April on the 30th with Algebra 1. That'll be tested alone. But we're doing things different with testing, and we're just, hoping that those results continue to, as projected, and we ace this STAR test. We have a lot of things going on. Our May calendar is filling up quickly, the end of April and May. April 26th, we have UIL academic regional qualifiers traveling to Texas A&M Corpus Christi. We have 5 students that qualify for regionals. So we're hoping, we've already talked to the coaches, and we're hoping to increase those numbers next year and continue to take more and more beyond district. Pearsall High School Report Card Night will take place on April 23rd from 5 to 6 next week. We'll be highlighting math and science. We have a junior class burger sale this weekend, so if you're hungry and you're in town, go by the front of the high school. Our junior class will be out there selling burgers. As mentioned earlier with Student Council, we have our Pearsall High School Blood Drive in honor of Alina Valenzuela, one of our students, on April 28th. That's from 9 to 12. And I am proud to say Alina was away from us for a while. She was hospitalized and then had made the transition home, and she is back on campus. Ooh, sorry. So we're, gonna do whatever we can to, keep her supported and give her what she needs and hopefully keep her healthy. We do have NHS induction ceremony on April the 30th at 5 o'clock. We have our Air Force JROTC end of year awards on May the 1st. Teacher Appreciation Week is May 5th through 8th. We can't forget our teachers without all of their hard work, and we can't do what we do, and we can't get the results we do with our students without all of our teachers and our support staff, so we'll be appreciating them all week. Pearsall High School Band Concert on May the 6th. Senior Scholarship Night coming up on May 8th. And then prom at La Luna on May 10th. That's something big. Last year, the prom was at the campus, so having it off campus, the kids are really excited about that. The junior class has really stepped up to give these seniors a deserving prom. End of year sports banquet will be on May 19th, and I'll share out these dates and a flyer for all of you. So we'd love for you to attend any of these events. Our senior walk will be on June the 5th. That'll be the day before that last day of school, the day before graduation. So our senior walk, we'll use the same routine. We'll go start at TFE, then travel over to intermediate, junior high, and then end at the high school. And we got summer school going. And with that, the early college high school. So an update on that, our website is complete. We just haven't published it yet. We're uploading documents to that. We'll get that finalized by the end of next week. So again, got a lot of stuff going on. That early college high school takes a lot of planning. We've been real busy. Teresa Trevino has been instrumental in that and assisting with that. And so it takes, all of us working together to get that done. And, we'll have a school within a school model. And I'm really excited of our first cohort. We've met all our numbers, our criteria. We're looking really good. And so we'll start that summer bridge the second week of June the 10th through the 12th. Bring those kids in, get them ready, get some TSI testing, prep done, and testing, and some testing strategies, study strategies. Welcoming them to the high school and college world. And so we're hoping that extra support for them will ensure that they're successful with our early college high school program. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The band concert is on the 7th.
Yeah, we put them back on together.
Okay.
It'll be 6 through high school.
Okay.
On the
Ready for the long haul.
next we'll move on to item 7B, the food service department report. Is she here?
I actually have a question for junior high and high school in regards to discipline, which I'm grateful that the discipline has gone down in this last 6 weeks. What's the cause of it? What are we doing to decrease it? Which is, I'm happy about it, but, you know.
Consistency.
Okay.
Being consistent, being fair. The kids know, they see you walking down the hall, they already know that it doesn't matter who you are, where you come from. If there are, any violations, there are gonna be consequences for that. So I think staying consistent has helped to keep them out of trouble. The next board report, it'll go up a little bit. Last week was a little bit, I was alone at the campus last week, and it did seem like the kids were a little more hyper, but we've been in testing mode, prepping for that, so that's to come. They needed a little bit of a release, but the next report will have a little bit higher, not too much, not even a handful, but more than what were expected. But I think it comes down to that. I've mentioned before, our teachers have been instrumental. It was like pulling teeth at the beginning, but they're starting to buy in, and we're having the consistency across the campus. So I think that is helping. When you don't have everybody working together, it lends itself to, you don't ever improve if there's just one person policing or looking at things. So that's where I can speak on for the high school.
So that's what part of my question was, because of lack of the AP position as well, or we're just improving policing?
Yeah. No.
Okay. Awesome.
Pretty much to piggyback off Ms. Bass, same thing. We believe in, and I know she does because I see it, believing in building relationships with our students. So all of us, principals, admin, and counselor, go to every lunch duty, taking them outside so they're not just inside the cafeteria all day, giving them that recess junior high kids do need. Supporting your teachers, making sure that you hold them accountable as well, and support them, back them up with students. She mentioned consistency, making sure discipline is consistent with all your students as well, always going back to the student code of conduct and handbook. Having an open door policy, parents come in and out, my door is not closed. Any parent wants to come in, we don't hide. So I think it's just communicating and letting your teachers know you're there to support them. The kids, I think they like also, I was a doggy, I was a big man, so it's like, seeing them at the grocery store, things like that, they buy into that.
Yes.
So they have trust, and I think that's what's really helped shape our campus.
Good. Thank you.
Ms. Bass, how many did y'all get enrolled for early college?
What was the total?
35, 28.
28.
28. Thank you.
Thank you, Lise.
Good evening, board.
Good evening, ma'am.
Tonight, I present to you the March 2025 monthly report for food service. As you review meals for breakfast, lunch meals as well, the revenue for breakfast and lunch, our after-school supper meals, and the revenue performance-based a la carte. Do you have any questions for me on this report?
No, ma'am. I don't. Anybody got any questions? Nope.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Keep up the good work. We
Thank you.
appreciate you. Next, we'll go to item C, the police department report.
Good evening, board. Good evening, Dr. Rod. Hello. So for the April report, I've been working on getting the Shattered Dreams program all organized. So I've been in talks with Peru County, Pearsall PD, DPS, EMS, and AirLife. So the high school is looking to put on that program for May 5th, and we're going to do a walkthrough of the program on April 21st. So you're going to see a heavy response of first responders throughout this month and next month. Little update, so Officer Martinez did resign, so we're gonna be looking for another officer to fill this position. We did hire another crossing guard, so we're all full on crossing guards, and freed up a security guard. So right now she is roving to see if there's any other heavy traffic where kids are crossing that intersection. And then Officer Jackson did attend a breaching school, so the plan for that, we're gonna pick his brain on
knocking down barricaded doors or any secure doors on a PD day and see what techniques he learned from that class. The door locks, so RJ Doors is coming back down. He's gonna finish a project where junior high and high school, they have doors that have deadbolts on the inside. So it's a safety concern to where if somebody goes in, they could lock themselves in. So we're gonna get those fixed to regular doors that are gonna match our key system, and then that one, to get all the doors on the same system that we're on.
Awesome.
The fencing gates are up. Those are also gonna be matching the same key system we have on, so he's gonna come down and replace those gate cylinders. And then we had the SPAT training. We had our new silent panic alarm training. The vendors came down, showed us how to add users, delete users, how to track the fobs, and what training we could teach the teachers to understand the product and when to use it and how to use it. Any questions?
Are they still missing, well, I'll ask, your technology department here a little bit on the fencing. I had a couple of questions, but I'll ask him. Thank you. Anybody else got any questions?
Yeah, how many officers do you have now?
Me and two more.
I see that you are planning to look at another heavily used crosswalk. You already have one in mind?
No,
or-
she's currently monitoring, because there's several crosswalks that are between the junior high and the intermediate, and then on Margo also where they put the stop signs. I'm trying to see if there's still kids crossing. I think the most heaviest one that we've seen is the Margo Drive one.
Okay.
When that goes, where they walk to the high school
Yes,
or the
sir.
other one, right?
Yes, sir, the high school.
I don't have a question, but I would just say to make sure that we post on Facebook when we do the Shattered Dreams those 2 days that there's going to be heavily like first responders to let them know 'cause they're going to be wondering.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I already have a notification ready.
Very good.
I do have a question also, in reference to the Officer Jackson attending the breaching and then the SPAT training. And, Dr. Rodriguez, what's the requirement to have, the intruder detection audits performed? Is it yearly, quarterly?
Once a
Yearly,
year
so
on campus.
having all that in place with, including the campus emergency maps, you can have all that in place as well with it, or is that part of it or not?
No, so the intruder audit, all they do is come to and check our policy and check the door. So they check if the classrooms are closed and locked, and they check the exterior doors.
So it's just a physical
Yes,
audit,
sir.
okay.
To see, pretty much to see if they could get into the school.
Okay, appreciate it.
And one more question. TxDOT, did you ever get with them?
Yes, so I did meet with Jason from TxDOT. They came and did a quick survey. He's recommending that the entrance of the high school for 4 lanes, 12-foot wide. So we have enough room. We're just gonna have to move that marquee into Pearsall High School brick.
Widen
sign
it up.
on Yeah.
I think it's 9 feet, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah, we just need to extend it about 9 more feet, and then we'll have an extra, I think it was 10 feet after that we still have extra to keep on our side of the property line.
Good.
Oh, well, good. Thank you.
That'll work. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, sir.
Next, we'll go to item D for the technology department report.
Good evening, Board. I'm Dr. Rodriguez, Daniel Garza with the Technology Department. It's springtime, so Tech Department is busy working, knocking out work orders, getting ready for the end of the year. Been still working with HVAC, the control systems from Air Performance. Just recently updated our backup software to the latest version. Cybersecurity, we're implementing the malicious domain blocking and reporting through the MSS Act, so hopefully that should be done by tomorrow or next week, Tuesday. I had to reschedule the appointment today because I missed it. Technology, physical security wise, vape centers are all installed in there. We're still waiting for that training to get the police officers and everybody on the same board. We're still trying to work some of the licensing out. I got the PO, I sent that to the vendor, so that way those vape centers will work with our camera system. Instructional technology wise, we did a demonstration of DMAC, and I believe I'll let Mr. Rochester talk to the other instructional apps that we reviewed, but we decided to kind of hold off on DMAC since, end of the year change and stuff like that, so we're gonna hold off on that and see what solution as far for student data, to review that, whatever, so we'll put that off for a little bit. Also, we did replace all the batteries and the battery backups for the network closets, so that's all 100%. I think we maybe lack some that don't have any, but they're just new switches that we added, like they're at the press box and things like that. But as far as what we have in place, everything's up 100%. Marquees, I don't know if y'all seen them out at the campus. They're, you know, the one at Junior had to get relocated. We had to get Mr. Vela and them to run power. Got all that going. Content's being pushed out. The Daktronics came, did a rough training, right? The gentleman came and did the training. It was just a quick, down, simple login. You know, nothing really in detail. So we're gonna kind of work. Lucetta's gonna work with the campuses, myself, and trying to develop content. But there, I drove by and there's already star testing and all that stuff. So kudos to the staff for already figuring it out. It's pretty simple. So the marquees, like I said, are good to go. Also, the fencing. I believe you're gonna have some questions, but the gate and the hardware installation is nearing completion. Me and my assistant project manager, Joaquin, my son, went and did a drive-through this afternoon to see where we're at, because I've been pushing Jorge and De La Garza, like, hey, we gotta wrap this up, it's taking too long. So we still need the gates installed at Paseo Tyner. That's that gate right behind the baseball. We're gonna have the intermediate driveway that still needs the gates. The Ted Flores track gate where those double gates are on Willow, and then also that where that portable building, those are the last gates that we need there. And then we need 4 pedestrian gates, one toward the band hall that goes toward the cafeteria at the junior high, and then the other one that's gonna be where maintenance will access the HVAC system at junior high, and then where's the other 2? And the 2 maintenance gates by the alternative campus to get to the air conditioning units. Back to the fence. So the last 600 feet that we had remaining of what we purchased as a district got installed, and it got us all the way to TFE, the second grade wing in that area right there, the resource hall. So we're done with whatever fencing we had left in stock. So if we want to continue with that black bar commercial fencing to finish off, you know, Ted Flores replace that chain link. I did get a quote from De La Garza that just came in the other day. So I'll probably bring something to y'all to present, or if y'all want to approve that and go forward with that project, of course. Retaining wall, still working with MTR engineers. They already did the preliminary design, sent that over to the city. The city sent that to the engineer in Dallas to review. The preliminary design, I guess, it was approved by the city according to Mr. Ron. So now we're, you know, they're still researching the plat records for drainage, because there's a drain that runs through our property, and nowhere have they been able to find a document that the district gave the city a drainage easement. So we're kind of still looking through all those plat records, or they are.
That was done through the county.
The drainage? Okay.
Yeah, when Mark Sorensen was here, he did the engineering work on that.
Okay.
I would get with the county on that, see if they have any records.
Okay.
Mark Sorensen was the engineer when they did that. Am I correct?
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. Did not know that. And they're also looking at the subdivision drainage requirements and things like that. The city is on their part. They are drawing up the price estimate, trying to get all that going. Of course, like I explained how they're gonna do that retaining wall, it will tear into the track that we just, you know, fixed. It'll be a little section of it. And then of course, we're looking at putting the new display board or whatever, the scoreboard. That's kind of where the retaining wall might be. So, you know, working within, trying to get everybody on board and make sure we don't miss something more. So that's kind of where that is with that retaining wall. Like I said, I should have something, but probably next week. Reach out to Ron again. I talked to Dr. Rodriguez about that to try to get something before the next board meeting. We're cutting it close, right? The days, and I think we just moved that board meeting up. So that's where we're at with that. Any questions?
No, I would like to have you put that item for the additional fencing to finish up that TFE. That way we can have all our fencing matched.
Okay.
In all campuses, and so we know what it is, and then the board can make a decision whether we want to put it on next year's budget or you know.
It's probably something that's still covered through the SAFE grant, so we'll get that.
There you go. Now you're
Got the full budgets today.
Thank you, sir. Really appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Anybody got any questions?
I have a question, but I don't know if it really pertains to you, Officer Johnson, Chief, or the principals, but maybe to all. Now, my understanding, keys are only in the hands of teachers, not paraprofessionals, right? Correct? And so the scenario was brought up to me from one of y'all staff members, and I'm curious as well, was there's been times where the teacher's not available and the students are left in the para's hands, and let's say there is an active shooter situation, and the para cannot get into the classroom because the classroom is locked and the para does not have keys. So it left me questionable, so I'm kind of wondering, what are we gonna do if something like
So
that happens?
I believe the if it's a substitute, they get a class of. Yeah.
Everybody on campus has access to the rooms, to the keys. They all have the key.
Yes, ma'am. So pairs are issued keys. If there is a pair missing, I mean, they can just come to me and get a key, but everybody should be visited.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm not gonna ask Rich that, because this para did not have keys for.
They don't have keys to individual classrooms.
Yes, it was an individual classroom situation, so I'm just kind of curious.
So it's like it's
and
an
and it was a scenario played, and it kind of just questioned. Like,
So is it like it's a full-time, like a paraprofessional that's like an aide or something, and then they're asked to, hey, watch this classroom? And
Yes.
then, okay, I get
So in
you.
a situation like that, while the
Okay.
students are in their hands, what would y'all do? So I just kind of just for the future.
So when it ends up to just pairs, it would be teachers as well, because teachers only have access to their classroom.
But, yeah, but Ms. Benavides is talking about two.
Like, somebody, if there's, like, you wanna get, I think what she's trying to.
Like if I'm a teacher's aide and they told me go cover a history class, yeah. Like if I'm a history, like I'm a.
Well, closest classroom or in the classroom.
In the classroom, okay.
So, you know.
All right, that's something that we'll
Yeah,
review.
so I'm bringing it up just in
Yeah.
case it's.
No,
something
thank you.
y'all can
That's,
work on.
safety is everybody's part, right? It's not just us, we,
But
you know.
it's a good question.
That's a very good, yeah.
I did have a similar question about the key cards. I was just gonna ask if there was any kind of glitches or anything with them, if everything's working properly, you know?
As far as I know,
Okay.
the only one that we're having issues with is at intermediate where we installed the card reader, the new one, because we're trying to get it to work with the door intercom. That's about it. The back of the intermediate cafeteria and the back of the junior high cafeteria, because they have the push button with the camera, right, that the office sees. But then they wanted a badge, so we installed the badge reader, and so getting those two systems to communicate.
nice.
Everything's installed, but there's the communication part.
Right,
But
and,
that just,
and the only other thing I have is just a brief update on the TFE parking lot.
the TFE parking lot, it
Yes,
is work in progress. Reyes Construction pretty much has laid out the, did the kind of the gravel work or the light work. They did some trenching to run the conduits and electrical cabling to the light poles and
The
port the
lights,
bases
right.
and
Mhm.
stuff like that. The electrical company came down, the subcontractor already kind of mounted their hardware on the poles. It's just now a matter of erecting the poles. We did find one base that we're gonna have to bring in 10 feet. That's too close to the AP power line. So Reyes was already working on relocating that footing, installing conduit for future use for installing cameras on the poles and stuff like that.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
You have a very nice Maverick logo there in your.
Thank you,
report.
sir.
It's a guard
Appreciate
company.
that.
Thank you. Next we'll go up to item F, special, I'm sorry. Maintenance and transportation. Mr. Freddy, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Board, Dr. Rodriguez, Ms. Gonzalez. I know from last report, last month, we were in the process of replacing the exhaust fan at the high school. It did get done, right, a couple of days after the board meeting. So cafeteria was very pleased to have a new exhaust fan. Today's, I wanted to report on the roof job that was done at the high school by Mark with A-Lert Roofing Company. That day we had that board meeting, I think we had the hardest rain in the past month. So thank God they ended up finishing on time, and we did ended up passing that wet test. So we're there, Mark, and also at the intermediate, I told one of the coworkers, hey, go check over there, see if any water came in, and we were all good. So
Awesome.
I was pleased to find out that. Today I saw Mark. I said, hey, Mark, I wasn't expecting you to come, but since he's here, I want to bring him up here and in case you have any questions, because I know we have some more projects at the junior high, so he just wants to briefly talk about it real quick. Any questions about?
I have a question for you, Freddie, before you bring him on. Remember when we did the walkthrough at TFE and the playground in the back was cautioned off?
Yes, ma'am.
Did that get situated? Did we talked about mulch and getting mulch in and?
A few days after, we were
It
We
got
talked about
taken
it.
care of?
We ordered
Okay.
a huge trailer full of mulch.
Awesome.
And we're still working on it. We've been working with Daniel with the fence, so my maintenance, I gotta pull them out from doing certain, projects throughout the district, but we're continuing to doing work there.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you for seeing me. I just came to, we've completed the roof project, and if you had any questions or concerns, that's pretty much what I came for.
I guess
It didn't get wet, so.
It didn't
no.
get wet.
He's got
Yeah.
some questions.
No, just a comment. It was just great timing on the rain, after y'all's completion. And of course, we just wanted to make sure, like Freddie said, the wet test, because we also had the gym floors, done. So we just wanted to make sure that one takes care of the other, so great job.
Yeah, we didn't
Appreciate
plan
it.
it that way, but it happened.
Sir?
We didn't plan it that way. But
Yeah,
it's good.
well, it felt real good, So.
And you're good till 2045, so 20
Okay.
years. Congratulations.
That's not 100 years.
It'll go longer than that.
Anybody else got any questions?
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you very
Rodriguez.
much.
Before I forget,
No,
I
yes,
just
sir.
promised the bus will be here on the 14th,
Oh, my God.
but I have bad news.
They come with a driver.
It didn't come with the driver. It's still out there north of Dallas somewhere.
All right.
I would have to schedule to go pick it up myself.
No, you're good.
So,
Whenever it gets here, we're good. But
Uh-huh.
it's on its way.
yes, sir.
Just send the mail.
And then
Appreciate it. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Next, we'll move on to item F, the special education update.
Good evening, school board.
Hello,
Mr.
sir.
Rodriguez. Dr. Swart. So I want to talk about the status of the Pearsall Strategic Support Plan. In the fall, I went over the results from last year. So our determination level, a score of 3. We had the areas of English 1 and 2, science, reading, social studies, and also on disciplinary removals. We recently created a plan to address these areas of need. In working with Region 20, we came up with several targeted areas that include academics, student plans, and also disciplinary placement. We schedule trainings that have already started this semester and will run into next year. Trainings will be for administrators, teachers, and paraprofessionals. Main focus of these trainings, at least for the campus, will be to improve differentiated instruction and also specialized instruction in the special education setting. So we're looking to train both gen ed and SPED teachers. Paraprofessionals will also receive training on implementing accommodations and documentation of their services. Another area is student IEPs. This goes for all the stakeholders in the art meeting. Trainings have been conducted this spring. The PLAF will continue into next year also for administrators, teachers, and parents, and also, of course, the whole IEP. Focus of these trainings will be to help committee members understand each part of the plan, and most importantly, how to use current data to make changes in the plan. The other area that needs to be addressed is disciplinary removals of students with disabilities, and I think last year we also had a high percentage of students with disabilities that were being removed from the gen ed setting. This year we were at 61%. I think the state cutoff is 19%. So that's a pretty high number. So what we've done this year, we provided training on disciplinary removals in the fall with Walsh Gallegos. We've updated BIPs with the help of our contracted school psychologists and diagnosticians. Those are the behavior plans that the students have. With the help of Region 20, we plan to develop a new disciplinary removal monitoring system. Not necessarily a new software program, we already have that, but a system where it's more efficient. It helps us monitor the days and types of removal for the students, and maybe a form that we can share with principals, something that's more user-friendly. Also, I'd like to add, we're currently working on setting up training on behavior plans, hopefully before the end of the year, if not in the fall. In the fall, Region 20 will be providing training for administrators and teachers on behavior interventions and also placements. And we started doing this year. We'll continue to offer training for parents on referrals and IEPs. And we're going to try to do another one of those trainings in May. Also, one last thing. Last time I gave everybody a copy of the current referral status, so I'd like to do that again. Just so you can have something for reference.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So what you're looking at is the referrals from the middle. I know last time I gave you one, it was at the beginning. It was from the end of last year to this year. And last year we had a total of 12 students that we missed their timelines. So that's been a problem. This year we have 2 right now. So I hope that's it. There's no more. But the good part is we've gone from 12 to hopefully 2. So we're already in April. So that's it's some changes that we made with Region 20 as far as what we do in our office to monitor the referral process. Of course, remember there's 2 parts to it, right? I know sometimes we get calls from parents that are upset because, you know, they were referred. They say they requested it 8 months ago, 10 months ago. There's 2 parts, right? The part where it's on the campus and they have to gather their data. Sometimes it could take months to get their part, and then when we receive it, we get the consent, and then we do the 45 days to test. So we got our timeline. So, and then sometimes, I mean, we have to tell the parent we're trying really hard to, you know, test them as fast as we can. And also another change we did is we tried speech therapists. I think the 2 that were missed, we tried a new company that provided speech therapy services, and it didn't work out. Those 2 that were missed were from that company, so we don't work with them anymore. In fact, those 2 students, we had to give it to another assessment person who didn't have enough time to test. You know, they probably had a few days, so the timeline was missed on those 2. So I'm hoping that by next year, I hope we don't have any. That's our ultimate goal. Any questions?
On page 3, student 3 and 4, is that a typo, or is the date 10/9 supposed to be for student 3, and then the pending is for student 4?
Okay, page, junior high?
Yes,
You're looking at student 3.
and 4. I'm just making sure.
Okay, on what?
Is student 3 date 10/9/2024 for student 3? And
Is it date?
yes. And the pending is for student 4, is that my understanding?
The pending would be. Okay, so 3's in compliance, so the pending would be
Right.
for 4.
So I'm just making
Yeah,
sure
it's just
that's how I
printed out.
understand it.
It's all stretched out.
So when I'm reading this, and some of us don't know, when you say subcontractor missed timeline, what does that mean?
Yeah, I was referring to we hired this speech company out of San Antonio, and they give us pretty good rates, but it only lasted a couple of months because we noticed that they weren't testing as fast as the other staff. And then when they missed these timelines, we had to give it to another assessment person, so we cut their services.
But that's still on us, though.
Yes,
So what are we doing about that?
well, we're not doing business with them anymore. I will say that the contract company that we've been using, which is Lisa Scarpa's company, they have staff that have been really good about careful as to who I bring in.
That kind
I
of
just-
bothers me.
Yeah, I kind of, just a question, a piggyback of Ms. Benavides. So how much, okay, you said a couple of months, but how much, how often do you check up on them to see if that's even
Yes.
doing their job?
Good question.
I mean, why wait why did it take a couple of months? I mean, if somebody,
Well, because when they get the consent, you know how they have the 45 school days to test? It all depends on who the evaluator is, but some will have, 20 students to test, while you have others that have 5. So I've seen it, I used to be a diagnostician, where sometimes I would start testing on day 35, because I just had so many. So you're able to do it, even in day 40, 41, I would get it done by day 45. I knew where, I had my own schedule and planning. So a lot of times you just have to trust your evaluators that they're doing it, right? So this one, it just started getting to that point, and we were trying to get it set up with a parent. And if the parent's not ready to have it on that day, you're kind of rushing into it, and then you got to get your staff in there. Before you know it, you're already a day or two past the time, the deadline. But we just didn't forget about it. We've been monitoring it pretty well, and that's how we were able to bring it from 12 to now we only got those 2.
And I understand that we can't just forget about it, but,
No.
and I get, like, last time that you provided this for us, the excuse was that it falls a lot on the parents because they don't follow up, or you can't, or, it's hard for them to get a hold of. But in this case, I feel like we failed these kids because that's part of your job.
No, you're right. And I aim to not let that happen anymore.
I'm just not comfortable with just, they skipped the timeline because of whatever reason, there's,
This time
I-
we'll
I
be
mean,
working on
I
it.
get it, it is, but we shouldn't be skipping timelines, or
No.
for whatever reason.
Missing the timeline?
Missing.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, we have we started using a tracking system, a spreadsheet that we share with all the assessment staff, and that's worked out pretty well, where we can provide input in the spreadsheet. And we also have notifications that we use with our frontline program, where we document everything. It sends out emails reminding the staff that a student is due in 15 days or 30 days or 45 days. So we've implemented a lot of that. That's all helped. And it's just on this one, we provided all that information. And they still missed it.
Who is they?
we learned that-
Who is they?
It's that company, it's called Chatty Patty Ski Services.
But they're no longer contracted with us.
No, as soon as they did this, we broke off. And they only took on several, they were able to do some of them, but, I think they were servicing other districts. They took on more than they didn't have the staff. We're trying to grow too fast, I guess.
I just feel like, okay, so we're not working with them, but I feel that's your job best to make sure to stay on top that it's not happening with whoever else we have contracted. We can't fail these kids, not on our part.
No, I agree. I'm sorry that we missed these 2. But it's something that we're gonna try to prevent in the future. We wanna bring it down to 0.
I don't have any more questions.
Any more questions? No? All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Next, we'll move on to item G, which is the report on board members' continuing education credits received. And so school board members must complete training that is required by State Board of Education. And the board president must publicly announce whether each board member has met their training requirements. So I'm gonna read the names, and everybody here has completed it, but I have to acknowledge Deanna Hughes has completed all of them. She has 13.25 hours, and she exceeds. Mr. Lionel Gandara again, completed everything. He had 14.25 hours and exceeds. Ms. Adrian Ramirez completed all 28.5 hours and exceeds. Mr. Elogio Rodriguez completed all items, 13.5 hours and exceeds. Marco Reyes, complete all items, 6.25 hours and exceeds. Marisela Benavides completed all items, 14.5 hours and exceeds. And Mr. Matthew Aguilar completed all items, 19.25 hours, and he exceeds. So next we'll move on to item 8. Approve and correct the minutes from previous board meetings of February 26, 2025, March 18, 2025, March 25th, 2025, and March 26, 2025. Do I have any questions or changes to those dates? If not, do I have a motion to approve the dates as presented?
I make a motion to accept the minutes for February 26, March 18, March 25, and March 26 as presented, unless there's any other questions on it.
Do I have a second? So I have a motion by Mr. Lionel Gandara, seconded by Mr. Matthew Aguilar, to approve the board meetings of February 26, March 18, March 25th, and March 26, 2025 as presented. All in favor? Unanimous. Motion carries. Next, we'll move on to item 9, the consent agenda.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Hello.
On page 53, you will find the exhibit C3 for the month ended March 31st, 2025. For the general fund, our total revenues were $22,214,015. Total expenditures were $16,030,257, with the excess of revenues of $6,183,759, and a year-to-date fund balance of $38,972,260. For our food service fund, our total revenues were $1,060,945. Total expenditures were $1,316,949, with the deficiency of revenues of $256,003. Year-to-date fund balance was $915,257. For our debt service fund, total revenues were $2,769,616. Total expenditures were $260,525, with the excess of revenues of $2,509,091, and a year-to-date fund balance of $3,787,797. Our next report is on page 84. That's the schedule of general fund CDs. The amounts invested this month were $37,500,000. Interest accrued at the end of the month was $140,476.71. Total value at the end of this month was $37,640,476.71. On page 86 is the schedule of interest and sinking fund CDs. The amounts invested this month, $2,888,117.54. Interest accrued at the end of this month was $10,398.60. The total value at the end of this month, $2,898,516.14. Next, on page 88, is the general fund investment in Lone Star Investment Pool. Interest earned for March was $4,263.08. Total interest earned was $30,834.42, with the total investment plus year-to-date interest earned of $1,122,551.88. Does anyone have any questions?
Any questions? Did y'all already do y'all's budget freeze?
I'm sorry.
Did y'all do y'all's budget freeze already, or when is that?
We actually had a requisition deadline, the first week of March. Of course, there's, continuing with maintenance, food service, and then there's exceptions with federal, programs also with reallocation of funds. So for the most part, it has been, but of course, there's always going to be, purchases and expenditures, yes.
I was just looking at the budgets that were expended and how much percent they've been expended.
Yes, sir.
Just curious about that.
Any other questions? Being there no other questions, do I have a motion to approve the financial information as presented?
Make a motion to approve the financial information as presented.
So I have a motion by Mr. Matthew Aguilar, seconded by Ms. Mari Benavides to approve the consent agenda financial information as presented. All in favor? Unanimous. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Next, we'll move on to
Donation, I'm just
Yeah.
staying up here, sir. Yeah.
the item 10A, discuss and consider donations.
On page 89, you'll see that we'd like to request for you to accept and approve the following donations. $450 was donated from the JROTC parents to the Pearsall High School JROTC. And we also had $3,496 donated from the class of 2028 parents to
Wow.
the Pearsall High School class of 2028.
It's good.
So do I have a motion to approve the donations as presented?
I make a motion to approve both donations at one for $450 and the other one for $3,496 for both of those clubs. That's presented.
Yeah. So I have a motion by Mr. Lionel Gandara, seconded by Ms. Diana Hughes to approve the two donations as presented. All in favor? Unanimous. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we'll move on to item B. Request for approval for any single budgeted purchase of goods or services that cost $25,000 or more for the 24-25 school year. Ma'am?
On page 90, we have listed the Strong Foundations Planning Grant Services provided by Education Service Center Region 20 for a total of $80,000, and these services will be paid through that same grant.
So did we already receive the grant, or is we working on that, or how's that?
We have the grant.
Already have it. Very good. All right, so do I have a motion to approve the Strong Foundation Planning Grant Services from Region 20 as presented?
I'll make a motion to approve the grant as presented.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
So I have a motion by Ms. Mari Benavides, seconded by Mr. Lionel Gandara to approve the Strong Foundations Planning Grant Services as presented. All in favor? Unanimous. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
ma'am. Next, we'll go to item C. Discuss and consider the purchases of the network switches.
Good evening again, Board. Dr. Rodriguez, Daniel Garza, the Technology Department. We're looking at purchasing, last year or this past year, I allocated $65,000 to purchase some network switches. Kind of been, just to have that aside so we can upgrade and do some upgrades as we're going along, break it down over a couple of years instead of one big purchase. So I would like the approval to purchase $65,000 worth of switches. You have two quotes before you. We're looking at purchasing one of the 9500s and possibly whatever we have remaining, purchase about 7 or 6 of the 9200 switches. So just to approve the project up to the amount of 65,000.
Okay, so these items were budgeted?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Does anybody have any other questions? So do I have a motion to approve the purchase of the network switches as presented?
I make a motion to approve the purchase of the network switches as presented.
I have a motion by Mr. Matthew Aguilar, seconded by Ms. Diana Hughes to approve the network switches as presented. All in favor? Unanimous. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you.
sir. Next, we'll move on to item D, discuss and consider and take action on the district's electricity provider. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, President Reyes, Dr. Rodriguez, fellow board members. I'm going to pass out a little presentation.
As long as you're gonna save us a lot of money, then we're okay.
I promise you I'll be a lot shorter than I was in February.
February 19th.
February 19th.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you.
It's not all terrible news, but it can always be better.
They got my chicken trash.
You're looking at that.
So the last time I spoke to the district was February 19th, and if you recall, we did this remotely. I apologize, it was a little winter storm. My wife said, hey, you just need to do it remotely. So we'll just go back and kind of discuss what's transpired from that point to now. Just as a refresher, the district's current contract expires at the end of May of this year. The contract price is a little over 4 cents, 4.029 per kilowatt hour. And this to the load zone, which means it includes congestion. It's just a really good contract and a really good contract price. It included future construction, so we were able to provide this pricing for the gym that was being constructed, and I believe an elementary school, so it was a smart thing to do. These prices, we're not seeing these prices right now, current marketplace. It's just for any type of customer. Since February's board meeting, if you recall, prices were pretty high. They actually rose after that, quite significantly, and I'll point to the chart. However, with the recent tariffs that have occurred, it's always something you don't understand or don't know or anticipate. It brought some price relief, especially for the short term. And the primary reason for this price relief is because the traders figure there's going to be a slowdown in some of these data centers, Bitcoin facilities that are coming to the state. That's really what's driving our prices up right now, is all this future load that is coming into different parts of the state. And these are giant, giant facilities. Our legislators aren't going to turn them away. Texas is open for business, so unfortunately it's driving prices up, so the basic supply and demand. And there's just not enough generation really to handle it all. There's future generations going to be constructed, but make a long story short, that's the primary reason that we saw this little drop in the marketplace. This graph here is a wholesale electricity graph from April 10th. So it's a few days old. And you can see that red spike is March. So we met in February. March, prices just went nuts. And then we started to see them drop a little bit. So things could be worse, things could be better. But I do think that, I do know or suggest, highly recommend the district needs to act on something. Because the one thing you don't want to do is let your contract expire. If you let a contract expire, there's language in the agreement that basically states how you're not going to get your power shut off, but it's a pretty punishing type month-to-month rate. It's typically tied to an index. And retailers really don't like it because they can't hedge it, so they inflate it. So there's a couple of tables in here with different prices, terms from 12 months to 120 months. The first table are prices to the hub. So this is a little bit different than the current district's price. This does not include congestion. There would be a pass-through charge or credit every month depending on congestion. So sometimes there's a credit associated with congestion. You're taking power not exactly at the meter, but kind of like at a substation or a group of substations. The shortlisted retailers will hedge it, okay? And their hedge is roughly 0.0025 per kilowatt hour, más o menos, across the retailers. Typically, they're not going to lose money on it, so they're pretty confident in it. What we've been seeing is, in many cases, a credit, maybe 1/10 of a cent. So I would recommend going to the hub. I would just recommend that. Now, if a transmission line falls, from here to San Antonio, something like that happens, congestion will crank up for that duration until it gets corrected. That's really what it is. It's just electrons flowing through wires.
So why do they put that on the customer?
That's a great.
I work at a power.
That's a great question. It used to be a zonal system. There used to be zones. They went from 4 zones in ERCOT when the market opened in 2002 to, 1,200 nodes. And the reason they did it is because ERCOT, there was a big study, Brattle Group and multiple entities, and ERCOT approved this because in their mind, they said, if we have these higher prices in these different locations, it's going to drive generators to build in that location. That was the main reason. So Houston area, Dallas area, their congestion prices are a little bit lower on average than South Texas. West Texas is like almost 10 times the price of everybody else's congestion. So that's the main reason. They did it because the studies that showed that there would be a little more impetus to build generation in these locations where there were higher congestion charges. Now, there's a lot of other variables that go into play with building power plants. They're super expensive. They take a long time to build. And I'm talking thermal plants. You're competing with renewable power, so there's just a lot of other variables to consider. Right now, it's tricky to get new generation built. And there are some generators that are planned. There's something called the Texas Energy Fund. All the money got gobbled up. And there are plans to build these generators. They just don't come in immediately. And unfortunately, with the planned data centers and cryptocurrency, it's more than what generation is going to come in down the pike. I mean, these facilities are very big. So that's a.
I just look at the ERCOT prices every day, and I mean, we're looking at averages between $20 to maybe $60, unless we're going through a very high demand, whether we're in a winter storm situation or, we're looking at the very, very high-end dates. But I mean, we're looking at 20 gigawatts or whatever of capacity left that's not being used.
Yep.
And so I'm just trying to relate that price to your price or to these prices and say, what's up? What's
exactly.
up? What's up with
and
it?
that's good.
Because it doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. And you're right. There's a disconnect right now.
I mean, we're going up 20 cents, 20 cents.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
2 cents, yep. There's a disconnect in ERCOT index prices and forward prices. And I don't know what's going to alleviate that. But an index, and the district could jump on an ERCOT index price. The problem is that these index prices change every 15 minutes. And if there's a blowout, they can go up as high as $5 a kilowatt hour. Not 5 cents, not $5 a kilowatt hour. During Winter Storm Uri, the cap was $9 a kilowatt hour. and it hit that for a few hours. If y'all recall Winter Storm Uri, right, we all. none of us-
21.
Yeah, 21, yeah. And there was a few entities that were on this index product. And in fact, there were residential customers that were on it.
$9,500 megawatt.
It was, yeah, it was crazy. So they outlawed residential customers from being able to get on index prices. They can't do that anymore. Commercial customers still can, but I highly recommend not considering that, just because it's just way too much risk. Yeah, you can gobble your annual budget in a day or two if things just go crazy. So the zonal prices are more reflective of the district's current price. It's basically insurance. It's about, like I said, 2.5 cents higher on average than the hub prices. We have a shortlisted group of suppliers. We've been getting prices from them for every day for a while, and I've got them teed up tomorrow as well. So I've got to have them competing, and they're shown here on this list. I'm not going to mention because they may actually be watching this meeting right now. Okay, and I'm scheduled to receive offers tomorrow as well. It's a daily event. And even within the day, if the market starts getting really unruly, they'll pull prices. They've done that before. We're in April. I mean, I don't see that happening right now. So the recommendation that I have is to authorize the superintendent or board president or designee to lock into a retail agreement with the best value supplier, one of these three, whoever comes in at the top, and at a price not to exceed these variables, either 0.0659 to the hub or 0.06869 to the load zone. And this would be for a 72-month term. Now, if the board prefers looking at another term, I can't say that, hey, this is the exact one to hit. I just know that a mid term versus a very, very long term might be reasonable, just because generation's gonna take a while to get built. And, you know, it's impossible to hit the nail on the head on these things.
No, it's not, but I mean, you're looking at 72 months, you're looking at 6 years, you know, and that's a long time.
And there's, you know, if you wanted to do a shorter term, if you wanted to do a 12-month or 24-month and then keep monitoring it, you know, and we could even wait another month, but I wouldn't recommend it because this can turn around on us.
I would like the board to you know, think about a 24 or 36 month. And that's just for the simple reason that because of what's happening right now, you know, with the tariffs and stuff, we don't know where we're going.
We don't.
Nobody does.
That's exactly right.
And that's very, from my point or from my experience, you know, I've passed the four oil booms and the weight that it puts on families.
Yep.
And it's just not good. Not that it's gonna impact us, but it will impact us if it affects our revenue on the tech side, so.
Yes.
We have to be very cognizant of that, so, I'm open for comments, ideas. What do y'all think? What are y'all looking at?
Well, I'm actually looking at the same thing you are, you know, no more than 36 months. I mean, for the same fact, like I emailed you earlier in the week about the tariffs, you know, but it's not just on this part, you know, just about every product there is, you know, all the goods, you know, whether it's, you know, I was referring to the electricity and the fuel as well, so you know, I wouldn't go beyond the 36 months right now, so looking at 24 to 36, so.
Matt?
Well, I'm not an expert in this for sure, but I would ask what you think is the best way we go.
Thank you for that. We, you know, since COVID hit, I think that was the last time that he came by and presented some numbers for the district, like a lot of school districts are gonna hit with these increases, right? So, to me, it logically makes sense to just go at the shortest term possible, because once this hits the state lawmakers, things will start changing. You know, I listened to a lot of positives the state lawmakers are doing. They're gonna be handing down quite a bit of money back to schools, a lot in different ways, which is good. So what happens is, when these situations occur, then a lot of concerns go to state lawmakers, and they get together and figure out how can we reduce, how can we make it reduce. So if you start going higher and higher, you may miss out, because once you lock it, you're locked. But you may miss an opportunity to actually go back down to lower levels in the near future. So, to me, I recommend the shortest possible, so that the board can review and to see changes in the future. So the district can consider reevaluating it again and maybe go down to lower numbers, because they're significant. I mean, 2.9 cents increase, 2.5, even at the marks, and 2.84 cents difference. So it's like 50% increase. Think about it, from 4 cents to 6.9 cents or 6.5, it's significant. It is for the business office to plan $650,000 electrical use per year. Now you have to put 50% more now. Now you're looking at $1 million now of utilities, right?
And it's a little bit less, Dr. Rodriguez, pardon me, because this is just the energy portion. The wires portion is about 4.2 cents, so it's not a full 50% increase.
Right, but just this part itself, you're correct. Just on this
Just on the
itself, you're right.
commodity. Yep.
Yeah, on the wires portion, I think the district's done well.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Being conservative and
Yep.
lowering that price down.
About 4.2. Yeah,
Yes, sir.
it's good. Good average number compared to other districts. So,
I'm okay going 12 months, and we can
So
review
your
this.
recommendation would be 12 months?
I'm okay with that.
And I would suggest if you do a 12-month, I would suggest we just stay right in it, because 12 months is gonna fly by. And personally, I don't see these numbers getting better in 12 months. So what I'm saying is, I mean, as soon as we sign the 12-month contract, we should probably just keep rolling for an additional term, rather than wait until a month or 2 months before the contract expires. Because we can do that. I mean, we can sign a 12-month contract tomorrow, and the next day we could sign a 24-month contract or a 36-month contract, because these are all forward contracts. So that'd just be my recommendation. If the district does want to do a 12-month, and even at a 36-month or a 24-month, at some point in time, at least a year and a half, 2 years before the contract expires, you can start looking at what these forwards are. If you see a good drop in the market, you strike.
You can't change it until you.
You can't change it, yeah, there's no, with these, so retail providers, they go out and they hedge these contracts, so you can't terminate them for convenience.
No.
Yeah. You can blend them sometimes, but yeah, that'd be my suggestion. If we do a 12, we don't have to do it immediately, but.
So what you're saying is that maybe if we do the 12 months, is 6 months from now, 9 months from now, start talking about what we want to do?
Maybe this summer, right? Go ahead and start strategizing, because last year, the best prices we saw were in the middle of the summer, when it was the hottest.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
strange. It was really odd.
Yeah, and I mean, you had wind energy.
Yeah, it did. Wind, sun, so it's just, it's what, time is your friend, and I'm, there's really no right or wrong answer here, so. But I've got them teed up, and they'll do whatever term the district prefers.
Comment, questions?
What was the difference between the hub and load zone?
So your load zone price is gonna be a little bit higher across the board, and what that includes is congestion. It's an element called congestion. And it's basically, instead of taking your power to the meter, you're taking it at a certain node somewhere. And actually, it's an average price of different nodes. So long as there's not any significant power outages or transmission lines that go down, physical things that go down, your congestion will be okay. But if something like that happens, congestion can be much higher.
But that's more of an effect on like your metro areas, right? Your Houston, your Dallas, Fort Worth, your,
You know, we've had some big, I mean,
Austin.
on occasion, you know, you get a line down in the valley, you know, something happens, it affects all of the south zone nodes, and your congestion price can go up.
Okay.
It's just something that's really,
Good question.
impossible to predict, but we do know that on average, it's been about 1/10 of a cent. So these numbers, the retail providers will include it because they can hedge it, and they feel comfortable with it. So it's kind of like insurance. Now, us residential customers, we get it you don't have to choose between it, it's required for them to provide it to your meter. So, thank goodness.
Y'all wanna go 12? And then, so, the motion would be, I think, is to, give the superintendent the authority to, make the contract, right?
To execute a 12-month agreement,
Agreement.
to the load zone or to the hub?
I'd go to the hub.
To the hub?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, unless somebody has a different
At what
idea.
cost? At this cost or this cost?
No, and see, so that's where Doctor and him would negotiate that tomorrow. We're allowing the superintendent,
Okay.
you know, that we have in place, make that decision through him, once he gets that price. So that's what the motion's gonna do. It's gonna make give the superintendent the power to be able to do that. Am I correct, Doctor?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So,
And then would you put that second line, like, to say that contract pricing not to exceed?
You could say contract pricing not to exceed, 0.06982,
That's what I was asking.
and term not to exceed 12 months. And that'll give us a 12-month contract. And avoid, you know, getting on the transition price, higher price, you know, when the contract expires. I know prices are going up quite a bit. We've actually been kind of in an artificially low price environment for a while. I've been in the energy industry since in the 90s, before the market deregulated. And I used to work in Laredo and Uvalde. And so I'm very familiar with AEP's rates. Back then it was CP&L, if y'all remember CP&L. And, you know, the way the tariffs worked, there was demand charges, energy charges. School districts actually paid around 12 cents a kilowatt hour back then. So these prices aren't that far off from those prices. Just as a kind of interesting note. I think the open market's a lot better for customers.
I authorize the superintendent to execute retail electric agreement with the best value supplier, for a term of up to 12 months, and contract price not to exceed 0.06590 per kilowatt to the hub.
It'd be the, it'd be the 6982.
Yeah, it'd be 0.06982.
6982.
It's on the hub, on the
Okay.
hub paper.
Yes. Zero.
I'll second.
Okay, so I have a motion by Matthew Aguilar, seconded by Mr. Lionel Gandara to approve the, contract, the district to allow the superintendent to, work on the pricing not to exceed the 0.06982 and not to exceed 12 months. All in favor? Unanimous, motion carries. So we'll let you work with them. Let us know.
We'll do our best. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Touched on.
Thank you. Next, we'll go on to item 11, superintendent report and updates. Dr. Rodriguez.
Page 95, you have the current district enrollment as of, April 8th, 2025. For campus, 001 is high school, 041 is, Pearsall Junior High School, 103 is Pearsall Elementary School, and 104 is, Florida Elementary School. You have those numbers there for your review. On page 96, we have the updates regarding dates. The testing started this week. I heard a lot of positives at campus level, at every campus. I commend the principal, the teachers, staff, students for working at it. There is Good Friday. Happy Easter to everyone on Sunday, April 20th. I hope you and your family have a good Easter. We do have school the 21st to make up this day, Monday, the 21st. And then, of course, we've got testing again, April 22nd through the 24th. That will resume. And then there's a staff PD day scheduled for April 25th, workday. And then April 28th through the May 1st, we continue with more EOC tests, STAR test, followed by May 2nd is a Friday student holiday, teacher holiday, May 9th, teacher student holiday, May 12th, bad weather, it's just there just in case, okay? And then May 16th is staff PD, professional development, workday as well. I would say that this Friday, everybody's off, all employees. They're all off, okay?
Good deal.
Now, anybody have any questions for Doctor? All right, being that we have no questions for Doctor, it is now 9:04 p.m. and the Pearsall ISD Board will go into closed session as authorized by section 551.001 of the Texas Government Code Open Meetings Act under the following provision, 551.074. Item 8, pursuant to Texas Government 551.074, discuss and consider the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee, or to hear complaints or charges against a public officer or employee. Item 1, pursuant to Texas Government Code 551.074, discuss and consider personnel recommendations for teacher department contract renewals. Item 2, consider and discuss hiring superintendent and approval of the superintendent contract pursuant to Texas Government Code Section 551.074. It is now 10 p.m. And Pearsall ISD will return into open session. What are my items here? That's it. Doctor, do you have any recommendations?
Yes, sir, we have one teacher recommendation still for the 24-25 school year. And this is for a teaching position at the elementary school. The recommendation is for Jamie Leal.
Okay. So do I have motion to approve this item, part of item A for Janie Leal as presented?
Make a motion to approve Jamie Leal.
Jamie.
Jamie Leal.
Jamie or Janie?
Jamie.
Jamie, okay, Jamie Leal. All right. So I have a motion by Mr. Lionel Gondara, seconded by Mr. Logie Rodriguez to approve Jamie Leal as presented. All in favor? Unanimous. Next item is, do I have a motion to approve the police officers' educational contracts and one termination contract as presented in executive session? Okay? Yeah. So I have a motion by Matthew Aguilar.
I'll second.
I have a motion by Matthew Aguilar, seconded by Lano Gondara to approve the police officer's educational contract and the one termination contract as presented in executive section. All in favor? Unanimous. Motion carries. Next, I'll move on to item B. Consider and take possible action to hire the superintendent and approve the superintendent contract.
I move to hire Dr. Jody Spoor as the superintendent of Pearsall ISD and approve the terms of the superintendent contract as discussed in closed session.
Do I have a second? So I have a motion by Matthew Aguilar, seconded by Ms. Diana Hughes to approve item B for the superintendent contract as presented in closed session. All in favor? Unanimous. Motion carries.
Welcome.
Welcome. So, Dr. Rodriguez, we'd like to thank you for your service.
Yes.
And so Dr. Rodriguez will be the emeritus superintendent for Pearsall ISD, effective today. Dr. Spoor's official day will be Monday, the 21st. And so, Doctor, again, thank you for your service. A couple of things that will come here in the near future. So thank you for everything.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Do we have any other business? Being that we have no other business, we'll have a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
I have a motion by Lionel Gondara, seconded by Matthew Aguilar to adjourn. All in favor? Unanimous. Motion carries.
Well, thank you.